What's up, guys? This is Showtime's Fight Forum. As always, thank you guys for watching. This is basically going to be a part 2 of Deontay Wilder versus Tyson Fury. And this is going to talk about what is next for both men, what is the legacy of both men, and also we can rate this trilogy compared to others. Now, let's rate this trilogy, man. Obviously, this trilogy, well, some people say this is one of the best trilogies ever. I personally won't say it's like a top 5 or top 3 of mine. The only reason why is because I think there was a clear-cut winner. I think that we all know Tyson Fury is, not even gonna say it's the fact that we know Tyson Fury is the best, but I just think that Tyson Fury won all 3. And at best, it's 2-0-1. So, I mean, you have to think of like the Arturo Gattis and Mickey Wards. And then you got to think of the Thriller in Manila, Joe Frazier, Muhammad Ali, and then I'm missing some more. Oh yeah, we got Marquez versus Manny Pacquiao, and then if you want to go the MMA route, some people are saying DC and Stipe, which I mean I think is a really good trilogy as far as like action pack and fun fight compared to Tyson Fury and Wilder. I think the Wilder fight is more fun, but as far as competitive, yes, Stipe and DC is definitely the more competitive fight. And then I'm missing a bunch of different trilogies when it comes to UFC. But then you also, you got Gray Maynard and Frankie Edgar and fights like those, which was ridiculously slept on. I don't know why nobody talks about that for real, but that was one of the best MMA trilogies ever. Like, watch those fights, crazy. Now, and I think that one was I think it's 1-1-1 actually. That's a trilogy that's completely tied. It's equal. So yeah, that's fun. So yeah, like I said, I wouldn't put it in that category, but man, was it still an amazing trilogy. And I didn't ask for it, but I'm so happy we got it. So then the thing is, what is next for both men? Deontay Wilder, I think that you need to take a break. Apparently, he's getting surgery on his hand and his knuckles, and he's looking to fight back in April and May. I don't think that's a good idea. I think he should try to fight towards October-ish. Just give himself a year, man. Like, you took a beating. Two fights in a row. First fight, you really didn't take a beating. You just lost. The second fight, you took a really bad beating. Third fight, you took a very bad beating. You had 11 rounds of heavyweight power to your dome. Over 100 shots to the head. You need to calm down. And I also think, like, once again, keep honing in on your skills. If you want to keep fighting, which I think you should, and keep making that money, then, keep honing in on skills. I love the body shots that you did. You did go away from it after, things got a little hazy and you got a little tired, but it was still a very good game plan. And I think that you are getting better, which is impressive to say because my homie, you're old. Like, so yeah, this is great for you. Now, what do I see next as far as who I think you should fight next? Andy Ruiz is probably the name that everybody's talking about. And that's the fight that I would love to see. Two guys that can hit. If we're going to go to better boxer, Andy Ruiz is a better boxer. However, Deontay Wilder can knock anybody out. Anybody on the face of the planet that's not Tyson Fury out. So I would love to see that fight next. I also would love to see him, once again, if he's fighting in October like I hope he does, or like December of next year, I would love for him to fight the loser of Anthony Joshua versus Alexander Usyk. I think that would be an amazing fight. And then we can possibly get our Deontay Wilder versus Anthony Joshua. And if he really wants to go money, that's the fight. Fight the loser of that fight. I guarantee you that will sell out times 1 billion. Because at the end of the day, Anthony Joshua can box circles around Deontay Wilder. And he also has more power than Tyson Fury. However, he's obviously not nowhere near the boxer of a Tyson Fury. He doesn't have the chin of a Tyson Fury. So that makes him very susceptible to a knockout blow. So, I mean, who would not want to see that build up? Who would not want to see that fight? I personally would love to see Anthony Joshua versus Deontay Wilder. I think that will determine whoever is third or fourth best in the heavyweight division. And even, honestly, I would still love to see Usyk versus Wilder too, because Wilder could very well be the second best. So, I want to start seeing these branches. We already know who Tyson Fury is the best. I want to start seeing who's second and third and fourth and fifth. And now Tyson Fury, from what people are saying, is going to be Dillian White. I'm not that interested in seeing that fight. However, if that's the fight to make, cool. That's what we got to see. And then hopefully we see the winner of Anthony Joshua versus Alexander Usyk fights Tyson Fury, so we can have all the belts and finally get a unified heavyweight champion, something we haven't had in 20 plus years. I believe Lennox Lewis was the last one. So, I mean, who would not want to see that? I would, obviously. Tyson, outside of that, Tyson Fury, I do believe is going to retire within the next year and a half. I think that if I had like a crystal ball and I say how do I see his career going for the foreseeable future, it's fight Dillian White, beat him, then fight Usyk or Joshua, beat them, and then take maybe one more fight, maybe do a rematch of whoever he beats, and then retire, and then it's a wrap for his career. I don't see him fighting more than 4 more times personally in his career, and we have to like honestly cherish this guy, man. He's a jewel. He's a great fighter. He has a great story. If you don't know his story, man, look it up, man. He won the championship and was depressed, and then ended up gaining to 400 pounds, and then came back to fight Deontay Wilder, which is ridiculous to come back to. I mean, a lot of people get tune-ups. This dude say, "Nah, we gonna fight Wilder." That's crazy. That's crazy talk. But Tyson Fury is a little crazy if you haven't noticed already. Now, my last thing I want to talk about when it comes to this is Tyson Fury is an all-time great boxer. He is an all-time great heavyweight. There's not a single era you cannot put Tyson Fury in where he's not in contention for a championship. You can put him in the golden ages in the 70s. You can put him with the Joe Frazier's, the George Foremans. Now, will he win? I'm not saying he will, but you can put him in that era, and I guarantee you he will win some really tough fights. There's not a single boxer, in my opinion, this is obviously my opinion, there's not a single boxer in heavyweight history that could just walk through Tyson Fury. There's not a single one. There's not one that you can easily sit there and say, oh, he's knocking out Tyson Fury easily. No, you're not. Not a single boxer. I don't care if you're talking Muhammad Ali. I don't care if you talk about Joe Frazier. I don't care if you're talking about who else you want? George Foreman. Any of these guys. You can go back to Jack Johnson's, all of those guys. There's not a single person, Joe Louis, any of them, that is just an easy matchup. He matches up well with every single heavyweight. He is 6'9". He is 260, 270. He can move. He's a great boxer. He even has power. What can you do? Some people can say, oh yeah, well, Mike Tyson can knock him out easily. Okay, I'm glad you believe that. I'm glad you believe that. Cool. Could Mike Tyson beat him? Absolutely. Mike Tyson could beat almost anybody in the world on his best day. But if you really don't think that Tyson Fury cannot knock Mike Tyson the hell out, you're also crazy. Muhammad Ali, who's a lot of people's pound for pound greatest of all time, not necessarily mine, but a lot of people's, could he box up and also finish Tyson Fury? Of course he can. I mean, yes, there's still a size difference. I think Muhammad Ali was like, 6'4", 6'3", 220. So, I mean, it's he's obviously smaller than Deontay Wilder. But is it also possible Tyson Fury uses his size advantage and smothers Muhammad Ali? Hell yeah. If Ken Norton can beat Muhammad Ali, you sure as hell can believe Tyson Fury can beat Muhammad Ali as well. So we have to stop, discrediting this era because people will say this isn't a strong heavyweight era. And compared to like the golden ages, yeah, it's not. But there's a lot of talent here. And Tyson Fury is just the king amongst the kings. And there's just a big gap between him and everybody else. Tyson Fury is an all-time great. I have him in my top 10 pound for pound now. Not pound for pound, I'm sorry. Top 10 heavyweights of all time now. And he's going to be like in the back half. He's not like 5 or 4. But he's definitely going to be in my top 10 because at the end of the day, nobody's beating him. He has a very solid win in Klitschko and also Deontay Wilder. Now, is his resume as great as some of these all-time greats? No. But I'm looking at skill set, I'm looking at resumes, and then I'm just saying on like matchups. He's just a bad matchup for almost everybody. So obviously, I would love to hear what you guys think about that. Where do you guys have Tyson Fury in the all-time list? Is he in your top 10, top 15? He definitely need to be in your top 15. If he's not in your top 15, you're just hating. But thank you guys for watching. As always, this is Showtime's Fight Forum. I'm your boy Showtime. Be blessed.